The predator isn't the only threat. The wildlife started to mutate when the end of days began, and the tree of life started to die. Deadly. Pull, go on! The oil sludge is everywhere. To most, it only means death, but some have adapted to the new environment and changed with it. Evolution has its ways. Blasting everything that fits. or harmed. Amazing how much that helps. Look, an emergency box from the once was. A rare sight. That pipe looks weak. The claw bar should come in handy. Whoa! It's time to find a way out of this place. No, really, I mean it. The Morks produce biomatter in their multi-organ that they shed under distress, globs that affect the cellular coding strands of any living being when absorbed, including you. Clamber right up. Now you get it. Your body could change. Toxanol built vessels called arks to save themselves from the impending doom. But was it too late? It is only from the flight logs of the single ark they left behind that we know other arks traveled through the sky and beyond. It seems those that came before us never lost hope in finding a new home for their kind. Just a few moves left. Make them count. There are few records of the chain of events that led to the big apocalypse eons ago, but it's clear the world wasn't prepared for how recklessly the Toxanol Corporation would make its mark on the world. Their rare earth mining and nuclear industries generated tons of waste, and, without consideration for the future, they dumped it all in landfills until they ran out of space. That's when they made the big mistake. They began dumping the toxic waste in the surf just off the coast instead, assuming that it would sink and decay with time. And they were right. But no one was prepared for what was about to unfold. Once in the surf, the radiation interfered with the genetics of the wildlife and created bizarre mutations in their offspring. It had an inconceivable impact on biodiversity and the entire ecosystem. The world as they knew it crumbled as nature retaliated. It would never be the same again, and what remained of it became ours. The sound of spark metal going pew-pew is never a good thing. It's coming from behind that door. A warning label. The box looks like a potential brain melt. It's going to take a bit of puzzling to short-circuit the door. There you go. The wheeled one is outnumbered. You'd better help him out. Shot through. You've got nothing left. That's the last of them. Let's talk to the wheeled one before backup arrives. He wants to thank you for taking his side against the scavengers. He sounds familiar. You just can't figure out why. He presents himself as out of date. He knows he's way overdue, but he hasn't given up. He doesn't seem surprised that you don't recognize him. You were just a child back then, the night everything changed. There have been rumors of a one-eyed Ronin seen outside the Great Wall, and he's happy to see it's true. The legend of the one-eyed child that grew up as an outcast is old and sad. The child could have been anyone, but the evil it had fled had left a mark. a facial scar to remember the past.
Come Reaper, Auketo, Tul Atu, Iamanau.
It's a scar you're covering under that eye patch, isn't it? But he would have recognized you anyways. You look exactly like your Muma.
Wumbobo, Tubuko, Vunko, Vuntubo.
There's no doubt you're the child, and that what Looper Lupin did to your village, your Muma and Popsy, was the beginning of the end.
Momombusu?
It was after the attack that the unity fell apart. Your Muma's disciples divided and formed tribes as a reaction to the blight that had fallen upon the land.
Ugambun ang ugagad yepromo vuf vunko vuntubo.
The impending threat of the World Eaters bringing down the Tree of Life is ever so close. He also worries about the Jagni tribe that's actively working for a doomsday and purging of the world.
Farfarifto, tuka kubu, papamofubak.
Had it not been for the Tree of Life, no one would have survived. He hopes you at least remember the tree. Asks if you were tired, as it's a bit of a hike here from the village. He wonders if your Muma knows you are here. Sounds like he thinks she does, despite your heart growing dark. There's nothing as powerful as a Muma's love. He understands why you came all the way out here, to see them, the potato people. The potato people, or Nono, are a wonder, somehow interlinked with this little tree here, fueling its source of life. You might be right. Like potatoes, they're packed with energy, an excellent source of ki. The Nono prefer to hide in glitter grass. He says you should get over there and ruffle it. See if you can make one come out of hiding. You've found one. You should be proud. They don't come out for everyone. The Nono's ki energy is just what the Pensai needs to complete its cycle and grow into a tree of life. The small tree you saw up there where you met will eventually grow into a tree of life and start giving back to nature. It'll be the heart of the land. You'll need to support the tree for a long time to come. The only way it'll grow tall is with the burst of ki released from the Nono as they become one with the tree. You'll need a net to catch the Nono, and he wants you to use his, but asks you to be gentle. The Nono are sensitive beings, an embodiment of ki, the primal energy. You handle that net like you've never done anything else. He's impressed. He's grateful for all the help he can get. There's lots of nono out there that need to be... They're hiding in the glitter grass that mostly grows deep inside damp caves, where they draw mineral. But today, your focus is getting this one to become one with the tree. Now that you've seen the nono's connection with the tree with your own eyes, you have no reason to doubt. From this day on, he'll make nurturing the pensai into a tree of life, a life goal, not only for our village. One day, the land won't be as peaceful. Not even your Muma will be able to protect us. He says you'd better hurry back to the village before your Muma comes looking for you. You did good here today. That's not true. She's the reason there's still unity, and the only one strong enough to keep the 6 Wang Fu. He lost you there for a while, but no memory is alone. It's part of a trail you can follow. He says he remembers every single day he devoted to growing the tree of life. The tree started. The genetic evolution that occurred after the apocalypse, the toxin. His friend Gizmo is working on a Mekton and needs help defeating the Jumbo Puff at the end of the West Route. Wiz is still repairing his octopod to confront the Merc Puff that dwells deep down under the surface at the end of the Northwest Route. Noko has tamed the Midget and is preparing to take on the Hoof Puff at the end of the East Route. Finally, Goop is almost done with the Goo Glide, a machine able to ride the waves of the surf all the way out to the Porky Puff at the end of the route to the southeast. Out of Date says his friends are gearing up to... The road ahead won't be easy, but he wants you to understand that you'll all die if the tree... He claims names have power, so he gave them these names to weaken them. For him, the Porky Puff is particularly personal. It was that carnivorous beast that took his leg. Regard. You're getting the hang of it. quickest way out is through the roof where they came in, and the rope looks strong enough to climb. Know that the Tree of Life is dying. Its days are numbered. Without help, it can't endure the environmental change and assault from the World Eaters. A signpost maps it out for the cartographically challenged. Let's see. Must be the World Eater that chewed off Out-of-Date's leg. You'll need a hat trick to bring that down. The World Eaters have made their marks on our world over time. That's not the first nor the last village it'll leave in its wake. Look, a survivor. Glad to see someone made it out alive. He's heard the stories about the terror inflicted by the World Eaters to other enclaves, but never expected one to come. He worries there won't be much left to save if this continues, even if the Anyway, he needs help and says it's by your action. He can't understand why you'd do such a thing. He won't make it out of here on his own.
Good work, clever clogs. Let me guide you into the dark.
Seriously? I always thought better of you than that. There's still time to turn back.
They're already heading down my road.
There's Out of Date again. He must have missed something important.
Farfarifto, tuka kubu atu awa ya atu wamawa oloi bo bopawe koye bun tuvun bunun kuchai.
Regardless of who you choose, it won't be. The Myriad's conviction to stop the World Eaters began when the Leviathans rose from the depths of the surf. Siding with the Myriad's movement for wholeness in a fragmented world might seem like the logical thing to do, but is it the right thing? One thing's certain, though. Destiny arrives all the same. The Jagni tribe only ever had one conviction: to bring balance to the world by wiping out the weak. They believe a cleansing is necessary to restore the world and want to let the World Eaters bring down the Tree of Life. But siding with Jagni isn't necessarily a bad thing. Fate will find a way.
Mauketo dolu ayadre.
Out of Date says someone needs to break the stalemate and shift the balance of power to either
Kuchai, hifar befar to huaye.
He believes the tribe Sifus, Jagni especially, will listen to you and expects you to pay at least one of them a visit and play your part.
Cantita duela bofo.
In Jagni's case, letting the World Eaters bring down...
Luaf tula. Kobwa yake. Ugambun ang ugagad.
Another fork in the road. It's either the tunnel or the motor bridge. What'll it be?